Welcome to Wednesday. Snowy, cold December. Starting out great, isn't it? Okay, this one is from Zella, and she lives in Ohio. Hi, Marianne. I live in Ohio across the street from a cemetery. And since my husband died and is buried across the street from my house, it seems someone is in the house. Lights flicker, TV on and off, messages are left, doors bang, someone knocking at the door, no one is there. And I hear people on my porch talking, but I can't understand what they're saying. And when you look out, nobody's there. I'm not sure what I should do. Okay, first of all, we've owned quite a few houses, and most of our houses were either across the street or next door to a cemetery. Cemeteries make your best neighbors. They're always quiet. And there's never any earthbound spirits in a cemetery because they need energy to keep going, and everybody in a cemetery is dead. So who are they going to get energy from? I'm not saying that on occasion some lady doesn't swing by to make sure somebody's taking care of her headstone, but hanging out in cemeteries, no. The other thing that you're saying, Zella, is that why would your husband do this to you? That just doesn't make any sense to me. I seriously would doubt if it's your husband. And you would know if you've had a dream of him. You don't say how long he's been dead, but if you've had a dream of him, then he's definitely crossed over and he may be visiting, but he is not doing any of this. So I don't know without a call from your house, or if you come on Zoom, I'd be able to tell you if there's somebody in the house or not, if it's a man, if it's a woman, whatever. Okay, this one is from John. Hi, Mary Ann. My name is John. I live in New York, but currently serving in the Navy. When I was home, I was doing dishes, and I went down to check laundry, and every hair stood up. I felt this surge of something go through me. I was ready to pack up and go to my sister's house. Is that the presence of a spirit or just something in the atmosphere? Or my nerves? I've never felt comfortable in that house. I read your book, When Ghosts Speak, and when I was on deployment, and the more I read, the more it made sense. All the experience I had was explained in the book. So, and I loved the read, was a great read. Was it a ghost? John, a ghost does not walk through you. Now, if they get very, very close to you, you could feel their energy. You could feel a temperature change, a hot spot, a cold spot, but they don't walk through you. If they're sitting on a chair and you go to sit down, they're going to move. You're not going to sit through them. So I have no way of knowing because you're not in the house now, and I have no way of knowing if there's something going on. It sounds like it very well could be, and people need to go with their gut instincts. If you feel you're being watched, you probably are. We learn that from, children. The minute your kids are misbehaving and you walk in the room quietly, don't tell me they don't know they're being watched all of a sudden and they start behaving. It's the same thing with an adult. If a ghost is watching you, you are going to feel it. So it probably was, but I couldn't say for sure without talking to somebody from that house. And, or again, if you're ever there, go on Zoom. And thanks for your service, John. Okay, this is from Vicki, and she's Ohio. We have a male spirit by the name of Henry in our house. I know this because my son has been communicating with him since he was 4 years old. He's 6 now. My son talks and plays with someone quite often. When I ask him who he is talking to, he tells me Henry. I have asked him lots of questions about this person. Henry plays with his toys. He really likes to play with them around 6 a.m. in the morning for some reason. My question is, how can someone like myself know if this is an earthbound ghost or not? What does make me wonder if he is earthbound, the fact that my husband works at a hospital and I work in the inpatient unit in hospice for years. And does burning sage really work? Whoa, okay. The first thing I want to say to you or to anybody else, when your children are talking to their imaginary friends, they are probably talking to an earthbound ghost, an earthbound child ghost, which Henry could be, a guardian angel, they could be talking to them, and or even grandmas and grandpas that have crossed over. But saying that you have asked him lots of questions, then he's probably telling you exactly what he is seeing. People that have children that can do this, here's a rule of thumb. When they start talking about their friend, when your son starts talking about Henry, listen, don't tell him that he's not seeing Henry. And just go, okay, well, that's good. And stop asking him questions, because eventually he'll clam up and he won't want to talk about it at all. So don't push it with kids. Listen, don't say, no, you're a big boy, there's nothing there. That's so wrong. But for sure, don't keep questioning him about it. And yes, the fact that you're working at a hospital or your husband is, and you are also with patients, but this is a child. Now, if your husband is working in like Rainbow's Children's Hospital, where there are children that die, maybe that's somebody that could have followed him home to play with your son. Your son could have picked him up from Storybook, at the library, from a play date, from preschool. This kid could have found your son anywhere. And I have no idea why Henry wants to play with the toys at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's maybe he's lonely, and if he starts playing with toys, somebody will come and play with him. Sage absolutely positively works. Start smudging, and don't forget to smudge every closet, any attic space, basement, attached garage if you have one, and you need to do it every 2 weeks. And if you do it long enough, at least a couple of months, which would be 1, 2, 4 times, then Henry will probably leave. The other thing is, eventually your son will get too old, and Henry would leave on his own anyway. He would go find a child that's closer to his own age. But definitely smudge. That is never going to hurt. This is from Austria. Her name is Gerda. We are writing to you from Austria because we have a big problem. We came upon your book, When Ghosts Speak, in need of a solution for our situation at home. We live in a flat since June 2010 and are surrounded by ghosts. The flat building is new built, but the invisible inhabitants are very many and restless because some centuries ago the ground of the building was part of a battlefield. The 3 of us, we have a child, are sensitive and feel the inhabitants. We try now for very long to clean our flat, also with the help of other people. None has managed to do that properly. Every time after a period of short rest, the flat fills up again. As you can imagine, our life has changed since this has happened. We feel tired all the time, stressed, and aggressive with each other. Spiritually is very important for us, but we feel to have not the energy to solve these problems. After reading your book, could you please come to Austria to help us? Or could you otherwise advise us and recommend someone in Europe to help us who works like you and whom you would trust? Please try to give us an answer. Well, first of all, I'm not coming to Austria, especially with the pandemic now. That's certainly not going to be happening. I don't know exactly what your other people have done when they came in, but the only thing that I could absolutely tell you from this distance is that smudging was going to help. If you're affiliated with organized religion, you can have the house blessed by an ordained priest or minister. That's always a very good thing to do. I had a person come on Zoom the last time from Australia, and we got her a lot of good information in her place in Australia. You may want to come on Zoom. That would be the next best thing, and at least I would be able to see in your flat who's going on. I'm assuming a flat is like an apartment, and so there's probably a lot of families living under a common roof, which means that there's probably all kinds of spirits that are in the building. But again, try smudging. I do not know anybody, or I don't know anybody I could even recommend in Europe. I don't know. But try smudging or try coming on Zoom. And at least I'd be able to tell you if it's a man, it's a woman, or how many. And it might be fun for you to know that. Okay. This is from Carl in Pennsylvania. Marianne, it's so hard to find just one question to have the opportunity to ask you because I have 1,000. I've read your book about many earthbound spirits you talk to and have been on Earth for many, many years. My question is, what is their relationship to time? You know, we eat, we sleep, we're on schedules. They don't eat, they don't sleep. And so, do they know that it's a Tuesday or a Wednesday? Do they know that it's December 1st or 2nd or 3rd? Do they know it's Christmas? Sure, they can see Christmas trees up in people's yards or houses, or they can see yards lit up now with holiday lights. So they know holidays. They can tell when it's Easter. They can tell seasons, spring, summer, fall, winter. But actual time, it's really, really hard for them to do. They can lose spaces of time very, very easy. It's just so hard to imagine what it's like for them hanging around for so many years. Do they process thought? They do think. They do have ideas. And there's not a whole lot they can do about it, but they do have ideas. Just what do they do moment by moment, minute by minute? I don't know. I've never stayed with the ghosts for 24 hours, and if I did, they probably wouldn't do what they normally do. If they need energy and everybody in the house is sleeping, maybe they'll go next door to the neighbor that they see the TV is still on. Or they could just wait around on the couch until you get up in the morning. Seriously, they can do anything they want. Who's going to tell them they can't? Thanks for your question, Carl. Okay, I have one more. My husband works at a golf course in Colorado, and it has been said that the reason the golf course never succeeds is because it has a curse and is haunted by a couple who used to own the land. It is constantly being broken into, and even when the economy is great, the course still seems to suffer. Is there anything we can do? Yes, there is. And a property absolutely can have negative energy on it. Um, I could refer to a ball team, but I won't. Um, but yes, if you get When Ghosts Speak, go to the library. You don't even have to buy it. The last chapter tells you how to remove negative energy off of a property. And as long as you can get the permission of whoever owns the golf course to do the ceremony, you should be able to remove the negative energy with absolutely no problem. The hitch is getting permission to do it. So thanks, Sierra, for the question. And I hope that when the weather breaks and it's not so snowing in Colorado, that you can get it done. Okay, let's see. The next Zoom is on the 11th of December, but it is filled, and we opened up another one on Monday, December 21st, 7:30 at night, Eastern Standard Time. There's quite a few people signed up for it already, but there are still some spaces, and this will be the last one for the year. On Saturday, December 19th, I will be at the Goddess Elite from 1 to 4 in the afternoon, as long as we have permission to do it with the pandemic. And it will be masks for sure, social distancing. We did it a couple months ago and it was fine. People that are looking for Christmas gifts, I'll have everything there. You can get a signed book for somebody. Bring pictures, let me see what's going on, and come on out and see me. For the month of December, we are giving all of the people that order something from our store a little Christmas gift. Shipping is only $3.99 for the month of December. So again, you can get your Christmas gifts and it'll be a little less expensive on the shipping. There is still time to send in questions or letters about ghosts that have been at any of your holiday events or ruined a holiday. I've gotten some good letters. I'll start doing those in a couple of weeks. But if you've got a good story and you want us to hear about it, write to me. And next week, we'll just do regular questions again. So have a good week. Be safe. Stay warm. And I'll talk to you next Wednesday. Thanks.